Hello and welcome to this special report from the ZenootTV Skills and Training Hub. Now, one of the main problems facing UK manufacturers is finding young people to fill the growing skills gap, particularly young people with the skills needed to help companies on their journey of digitalization. Well, I'm delighted to be able to introduce you today to a company that is managing with great success to bridge this very difficult divide. The company is IN4, based in Manchester, where they run their own talent academy. The company's CEO is Mo Isap, and he joins me now. Mo, how does the Talent Academy work?
Hi Nick, yes, the IN4 Talent Academy operates to support graduates, STEM graduates particularly from the region, to gain the critical industrial application skills of technology, particularly cloud engineering with our partners Amazon Web Services. Also develop some of their employability skills, some of their skills around project management, and also confidence building for them to be ready to enter into an industrial manufacturing engineering landscape, which is where there is a significant requirement, where there are organizations wishing to move into digital transformation but are lacking the skills needed to help them achieve that. And then you've got the disconnect between young people who are classically going to come out of university looking for jobs within the more sort of tech orientated industries or digital industries per se, whereas there's a huge demand on their doorsteps with these established well-run organizations.
Well, I have to say kudos to you, because that has been one of the biggest challenges, is how to make manufacturing, if you pardon the word, more sexy, because young STEM graduates tend to be very attracted to fintech, gaming and the like. So in that sense, what you're doing seems fairly unique, but how do you persuade manufacturers to work with you on this and to take on these young graduates?
Well, I think this is the benefit of our group, whereby we have three component areas, the sort of three focus areas within our group, one of which is consultancy, which is where we do our sort of Industry 4 consultancy with manufacturers in starting them on the journey, looking at proof of concept, looking at their sort of application and enabling their technology utilization. So you've already got companies that you're working with who are effectively on the journey. And once you've sort of established the business case for adoption, naturally then that leads to how do we now progress that? How do we catalyst that? And that allows us to then, have that sort of pool of talent that we're nurturing to be able to work on that. So it's more of an organic. You don't really, I do get the fact that there are, and I think the pandemic has probably changed this situation to some extent, but there's a lot of apathy out there and a reluctance maybe to some extent. And let's be honest, the manufacturing engineering sector is lagging behind to, like you mentioned, fintech and other sectors. But what we do is organic. And then within the academy, all of our junior engineers, all of our graduates who become junior engineers over that 12-week period, have the opportunity to work on commercial projects with those clients. So therefore, not only does the client benefit from further support around their digital transformation, but essentially they get to see these great talented young people in action. So it's a try before you buy. So they've already got visibility of the talent. And we've had successes directly from that type of engagement.
That is quite a remarkable bridge that you're creating between academia and manufacturing in a way that I haven't heard of before. To what extent is there something of a culture shock? And I hate to resort to stereotypes, but manufacturing companies tend to be run by men, white men in the main, and you're placing with them a diverse group of very talented, digitally savvy youngsters. Is there any kind of culture shock that any of them experience, either group for that matter?
Well, no, I don't really see that. I think, look, all of our clients, and majority of our clients are spread across from large global tier 1 primes to smaller manufacturers turning over million and a half in turnover. But all of them have this appetite and desire to be more diverse, to be able to attract the talent, because essentially that's future-proofing your business. No business person is going to be switched off to that. And they're very aware of the fact that they may have an environment which may not be classically an attractive space or proposition, but that's the other support that we give them. And we don't just transition young people into that. We also have a package of support that we provide further once they've actually started their employment, so that we make sure, one, we work with that junior engineer to make sure that any difficulties or challenges they might face, we're supporting them, but also working with the client to make sure that they can adopt some of the practices and understand some of the challenges that that young person might have due to the environment. At the moment, to be perfectly honest with you, because we're in a virtual environment, it's been relatively straightforward, because essentially over the pandemic from March, we've graduated over 70 STEM junior engineers into that space. They've learned virtually, and now they're actually working virtually as well. And it's quite amazing what is possible when you have to adapt and pivot.
Please tell us about one of the companies you've managed to make this work very successfully with.
Well, I'll give you an example of LUR Unipart. We're part of the Unipart Group. They've been a major rail manufacturer based at Trafford Park in Greater Manchester. A client, I met with them about a year and a half ago, and their senior leadership team was very much committed to say, look, Mo, we need to make this journey now. We've got clients who are looking for us to present to them how we're going to bring technology to benefit them. They were moving from a traditional maintenance model of, they basically refurbed and maintained bogies to actually a service model. So how do we make sure to provide that maintenance as a service pack? And that obviously required them to have data, to have that sort of digital environment with their client. So they were really sort of committed to that. And I said, look, the starting point is one that we have to take baby steps. You can't just jump into it. So we started that journey from an understanding of what their particular drivers were and how they were going to achieve that. But then they were partners in the academy, and then a group of our junior engineers actually did a project for them in that space. And one of them, Rosie, was then selected, and they interviewed her, and she's now their digital champion engineer working with them. And if, from the outset, you'll see from the case study video that she's already making a difference. And this is the difference, Nick, that what we are presenting to the employer is the biggest risk that I've seen them articulate to me is that, look, what am I going to do with this graduate? They're going to take a year or 2 years to just get to speed. And then, I haven't got the bandwidth. I haven't got the capacity to what we've got within our academy and the junior engineers. From day one, they are now ready to make an impact. And that is the difference between a return on investment within a short period of time to one that you perceive to be an overhead that you can't recover for at least a considerable time.
Well, let's hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Let's hear what Sam Fuchs and Sean Barson from LUR have to say about their experience with the IN4 Talent Academy.
So we found the support from IN4 Group to be very beneficial as we start on what we see as our digital journey to start to provide our customers with more digital data, and as we start to become a more digitized manufacturing company.
We're a manufacturing business. We're production focused. So whilst we possibly could have done this ourselves, working with IN4, that whole process was just accelerated so quickly, where we're able to realize some really key insights into our own business really, really quickly.
We're very good at mechanical engineering, but we're not so good when it comes to the Internet of Things and Industry 4.0. And this is where we found their support to be excellent, and the knowledge that their junior engineers have in this area has really started to push us along to improve in these areas.
In LUR, I'm working as a graduate digitalization engineer, so I'm helping to digitalize a lot of their processes to improve efficiency and usability.
Everyone has a day job, and we don't have the resource to dedicate to getting some of these projects over the line for our customers. So employing someone like Rosie gives us that resource, which is away from the day-to-day business that's traditional for us, and it helps us just focus to get these projects across the line now.
Mo, tell me to what extent part of your mission is retaining some of this fantastic talent that you found in the Northwest region.
Well, it's integral. This is why we're doing what we're doing. I'm passionate about making sure that the way I look at Industry 4 and digital technology and digital transformation is that they're all enablers to prosperity. We all talk about technology being an enabler to productivity. For me, it's about the enabler to prosperity, and prosperity comes when you can actually create high-skilled jobs within the locale, within the region, that young people and older, regardless, can access, can develop their skills into, and can actually stay in the community and live in the community, and then create that economic value in that region. And that is so important. If you look at the North-South development, leveling up, whatever you call it, there's a brain drain. We had a brain drain offshore. Now we have brain drain, to north to south. We can't afford to be investing so much in education and our institutions doing so much in an academic sense, and then those young people then leaving the area and applying their skills. So we have to make it attractive. And this is why I make a call out to the universities that what we've created is a bonus term within your academic sort of provision, that what we should have now is this bonus term which they can actually constitute and then say, look, after graduation, rather than being on a cliff edge, which many graduates are on, they can then enroll onto our academy and then be in a much stronger position to transition into employment. I mean, I'll give you an example. Some of our graduates, they said to me, I've had 50 rejection letters, and I'm not going to open anymore because otherwise I'm just going to cause myself real mental, illness and depression. When young people are on that cliff edge and they can't see how they're going to, move forward from that, and then this bonus term comes about, and you're going to succeed from that. It changes lives essentially, and this is why I'm making a plea to universities to say, give us the ability to put this bonus term in and give your graduates the opportunity to really take great jobs in the locality, in the region.
Well, Mo, thank you very much indeed for that. It's really quite inspiring, and it seems to me that you've found a key to unlock that great conundrum about how do we attract more young people with those digital skills into manufacturing. All power to you, and I do hope that universities and manufacturing companies will be in touch with you to find out how they too can take part in all this. This has been a special report from the Skills and Training Hub on ZenootTV. I'm Nick Peters. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Take care. See you soon.